Hello, hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're having an awesome day out there. Last year I spent a couple months working a seasonal job in Ketchikan, Alaska. This is one of the best places on the planet if you want to see wildlife, and especially bears. Now for this seasonal job, we lived right next to Herring Cove. It's a wildlife sanctuary and a salmon stream. Now, it is the place where all of the many tours in Ketchikan go over the summer. This is the place where tour groups come to spend some time in the hopes of seeing a bear and other wildlife. And this is where the black bears hang out for much of the summer. Now, there are rumors that there might be a few brown bears or grizzlies on the island. It's called Revia bears. Now, but there are a ton of black bears. Estimates are 12,000 to 15,000 black bears on the island, which is more than the human population of Ketchikan, which is 7,965 in 2026. And actually about the number of people on the entire island. The population of the island is about 14,000. So on average, there's one bear for every person on the island. There are a few black bears you will see that look like a grizzly with black fur, like the size, the concave shape of the face, the prominent shoulder hump, those things that are a few signs to distinguish grizzlies. So there has been some mixing over time between black and brown bears, but it's considered rare. There's also such a thing as a Pizzly bear. Now, if you've never heard of this creature, it's basically exactly as it sounds, a mix between a polar bear and a grizzly. Now, some of those exist out there, but in the far north of Alaska, maybe in gates of the Arctic National Park or close to Prudhoe Bay in the farthest northern territories. In southeast Alaska, Ketchikan, Juneau, Sitka, Petersburg, Skagway, historic towns where the cruise ships dock for a few hours or for the full day in summer, it's mostly black bear territory. As a seasonal worker last year, our living location right next to Herring Cove gave us prime viewing opportunities. As we carpooled in the early morning, driving to the downtown docks, often this was the best time. We'd always stop for a few moments to take photos. And as we worked on the docks, we could show people that the bears were out that morning and they might have luck to see one on a tour. Also, the evening was another great chance to take our time, hang out around the creek at the viewing platform, and watch the bears. We started the season in May, and we were seeing bears slowly come out of hibernation. We could see them eating grass and other plants, getting their systems ready for the salmon run. During midday, when most tours are going out for a couple hours, they didn't always have luck seeing a bear. The bears retreated to the forest during the daytime. Really, to have the best luck, you needed to be there in the early morning or the evening. But as the weeks went by, we started to see them more and more. Mothers with cubs. Once the salmon were running, I believe it was in July or so, then it was a full-on bear extravaganza. A fish feast, a smorgasbord in the creek. Many bears would hang out all day long. Not only bears, but for the entire season, many eagles. Every day we could watch dozens of eagles, and you could see eagle nests near the creek. We could see them flying overhead throughout the day. That was amazing. Like, we have eagles near where I grew up in the Midwest, but if you see one every so often, you're lucky. In Ketchikan, in Juneau, you're going to see a ton of eagles every day. The joke is that they are the pigeon of Alaska. They're literally everywhere. Downtown near the docks, there was one who often landed and sat for a while in the church steeple. We could watch that one, while we were working. It was probably like, I don't know, 40 yards or so from where we were working. People, since it landed and it hung out on the church steeple for long stretches of time, people called this one the bird of prey. All right, a few times there were signs that black bears had been in our camp near the campers. And we might see a paw print in the mud or bear scat. We had to be very careful with our trash. We had bear-proof trash containers, but we also didn't let the trash pile up at all. In Ketchikan, you take your own trash to the town dump. We did this every couple days. A funny thing about this, when you visit the dump, you will see not only a ton of ravens, but many eagles. Some of the guides said it was also a good place to see bears. We joked that we should have a tour that takes people to the dump. If you really wanted to see an eagle, that was definitely a great place. So we had to be careful at our camp, and though there were a lot of bears around and mothers with cubs, we didn't have a problem, didn't have any incidents all season. If they came through the camp and rummaged around, it was most likely overnight. Now the thing about black bears, they're definitely less scary than grizzlies. They keep their distance from people for the most part, and you can scare them off easily. If you make loud noises, shout, raise your arms to look bigger, you will likely scare them off. So we didn't have bear spray, didn't need to worry about a bear attacking. Unless it's a mother with cubs, then you definitely don't want to suddenly run into a situation where the mother bear feels threatened and will do whatever it takes to protect her cubs. Now, as a survival tip, there's an expression that I heard in Alaska. Maybe it will be useful for you too when encountering the different kinds of bears. If it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lie down. And if it's white, good night. All right, hope that's helpful for someone out there. All right, the best and most personal bear sighting, and the one I'll never forget, is one morning. It was right around dawn. There was a little light in the sky. I got up to use the bathroom, like an outhouse that's outside, maybe 15 yards from the camper. As I walked out and looked around, there was a big black bear on the edge of the bluff at the back of the camp, like right above our campers. He was looking down, taking in the camp, and watching me. So the best sighting I had, I was actually the one being watched. Since he was on the bluff, I wasn't worried. I actually walked back into my camper and grabbed my phone so I could take some photos. Came back out and did just that. And he wasn't moving. He was just perched up there, looking over the camp, looking at me. So I'm happy I got some photos. Then I went to use the bathroom and walked back. He was still there the entire time, just hanging out. After a little while, I went back inside. I think I went back to bed. All right, so I just wanted to make a video about the things you can see when you're living and working in an amazing place, like at some of these seasonal jobs. Things people pay a lot of money to travel across the world to see and experience. And we're lucky enough to be living there, getting to watch the place come alive over the summer season, getting to see the salmon run, getting to spend a lot of time seeing wildlife. It's definitely a magical thing. If you ever visit KETCHIKAN, you absolutely must visit Herring Cove, especially during the salmon run in late July and August, and visit the totem pole parks in town, the largest collection of totems in the world, like awesome native art and culture on display. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in, and hope you have a wonderful day.